Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. My name is Nastasia. If you don't know how to say it, it's right down there, but it's a hard name. Anyway, I have been having some of the worst weeks of my life the past few weeks, fun fact, and I really wanted to make a video about encouragement that the Lord has been talking to me, and I figure if I've been going through some hard stuff, I'm sure you guys have been too. And so if my pain can be kind of repurposed into helping you guys, it's 100% worth it to me. And so I really wanted to encourage you with some things that the Lord's been speaking into my heart recently. Also, if I sound a little raspy, it's because I have a cold. Well, I'm getting over a cold. I'm in those end stages of where it's draining. Sorry, I know it's really gross, but it's draining, and so my throat's kind of scratchy, and I talk like this, and yeah, so that's where I'm at. But no, I wanted to give you guys some encouragement. This video might be a little bit scattered. I basically just sat down literally 5 minutes ago and was just like, Lord, just control my pen and write some stuff down for me, and it's all scribbly and scrabbly, but something happened, so I guess I'm just gonna kind of talk about this. If you follow me on Instagram at all, which if you want to, I'll have my little handle thing right here. Feel free to if you want to, but I have been putting some encouragement on the little story things that are up at the top of your Instagram feed. And so I don't know when this video is going up, but if you follow me on Instagram and you saw me in this outfit, filming, doing something for my story and talking about pain and how to deal with pain happening in your life. This is kind of going off of that because I had way more information than I could fit into an Instagram story. Oh my gosh, that'd be 20 minutes long. So I'm making a video instead because you choose to watch this one and you can pause and all the things. So if you didn't watch my Instagram story, basically I was talking about how, we're always going to be going through hard things in life. And I think that's something that the church kind of minimizes nowadays. I know a lot of people kind of go off of the prosperity gospel or life is going to be all good if you're a Christian. And it's yes, eternally it is good. It is good. And everything is very good in your soul, but it doesn't make it easy. And I think a lot of people ignore that and think that when you become a Christian, it's going to be easy. And so when it's not, and things go wrong, and there's pain and hurt and sorrow, people are like, well, what is this whole Jesus thing? I didn't do something right, or he doesn't love me, or it's not real. Problem is that people aren't really explaining it correctly. And I want to make this very apparent right off the bat. I'm not a pastor. I'm not trying to, be one right now. I'm just trying to be a friend talking to you, but you can always talk to me about stuff like this. I'm just trying to give you some encouragement. So I was talking about pain and how things happen, and the Bible Jesus talks about if you follow him, you're gonna have to pick up your cross and follow him. And he says that anybody who loves me and wants to be with me has to pick up their cross and follow me. And I think we read that as just oh yeah, he's being so symbolic, pick up your cross and follow him. But it's no, when he's saying that, he's saying, picking up his cross and following him. If you're not very familiar with the story of Jesus, that's totally okay. When he was about to be crucified, they tortured him beforehand, and they whipped him and, stripped his clothes off and all of that stuff. And they forced him to carry his own cross that he was going to be crucified. So this giant, heavy cross, wood cross. And he had to carry it, while he was basically already dead, so weak. And he had to carry his own cross to where he was going to be dying. And so when he says, pick up your cross and follow me, there's a lot of weight with that. There's a lot of, it's not supposed to be a fun verse. It's not just oh, cute. No, it means you're going to go through a lot of stuff. And if you follow Jesus, you have to decide that hard things are worth it for him. And they are. If you're curious, if you don't really know much about Jesus at this stage in your life and you're listening to this and being that sounds horrible, I'm not going to do that. Just stay with me because this is just the scary part, not the joy part. But this life is going to give you troubles. And the Bible talks about that over and over and over and over. And I think we kind of overlook it sometimes and just look for the good parts because we look for things that are going to make us feel better, which I get. I do that too. But then when you go through hard times, you're so confused. Where is God? Where is God? Where is God? The problem is that when we follow God and when we follow Jesus, Satan doesn't just give up trying to hurt you. It's literally Satan's goal to tear you down. If you're a follower of Christ, he can't have your soul anymore. Once you give your life to Christ, Satan doesn't have that anymore. And so he is so angry that he can't have that he wants to do everything he can to make you hate God, to make you hate everything and harden your heart. And so somebody that I really look up to as a pastor, preacher, whatever you want to call him, is Kris Vallotton. It's either Vallotton or Vallotton, I think. He's on YouTube and he's also on iTunes. He's an amazing pastor at Bethel Church. I don't go to Bethel Church, but he's incredible and I love him. His sermons literally like light up my fire in my soul. Like you don't even know. So if you are looking for a good like online sermons, anything like that, you can just type in his name and I'll have the stuff in the description box below. I mentioned him because he has a video here on YouTube that I loved, and it was talking about pain and how, we're so focused on getting rid of the pain like anything. Let's take, for example, if you watched my testimony video, which if you haven't, that's fine. I'll just give you a little recap. I was pretty verbally abused growing up, and I did not have a good relationship with my father at all. That took a toll on me, a very big toll that I'm still working on. And I think so long of that time, I just kept saying, take away the pain, God, take this from me, why? But something that Kris Vallotton, I'm just going to say that's his name because I don't even know how to pronounce it, something he notes is that pain is rarely the problem and is usually the symptom of the problem, and that pain will lead you to the source of your problem. So, if you are somebody who's going through verbal abuse and it's hurting you, I have to tread lightly when I say this stuff because I know it's a very touchy topic because I've been there too. Instead of asking God to take away your pain, which I get, I've been there too, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it will be more beneficial for you to be taught from your pain, to grow. Because if you grow from your pain, you overcome it. If you just want it to go away, you don't want to learn anything from it, you won't grow from that. It's kind of like when you go to the gym or something, which I should do more often. But when you go to the gym and you are like working at so like for instance, my arms are like the weakest part of my body, and so when I work out my arms, it hurts really bad. But instead of like just taking away the pain by just stopping, that's not going to grow my muscles. And if I'm growing my muscles, then it's going to make me stronger to get better, to lift more weight, to, look back and be like, oh wow, I was so weak then and now I'm so strong because I went through that. And so I'm not saying invite pain in your life, like, no, but it's going to happen. Whether you invite it or not, it's going to happen because this world is fallen and Satan is always prowling to hurt you. So when that happens, as hard as it is, try to remove yourself from the situation. Like, look at the situation from a different perspective. Look at it from 10 years in the future. So if you're going through something really hard, like right now I'm going through something really hard, and I can back up for a second, pretend I'm 5 years, 10 years in the future, looking back, and what I hope like this Stas right now, but like past Stas, if I'm looking at it from that perspective, learns from this situation. And then I have the power to learn from that. And so I just thought that was so powerful that like, if you don't deal with the problem you're dealing with, the pain isn't gonna go away. If you don't deal with the fact that you don't have respect for yourself, you don't have worth in yourself, you don't see yourself as beautiful, you don't see yourself as lovable, you're going to feel pain from every guy that hurts you. And yes, it is their fault if they hurt you, but you are going to keep getting hurt if you don't recognize the problem and ask the Lord to help you solve it, because it's like the root. There's branches and there's all these different problems, but if you don't fix the root of the problem, like, it's all just going to keep happening. And something else I thought really was interesting was that he was talking about a story of when he was like in a hospital or something. I think somebody broke their leg or something. I honestly don't know. Go watch the sermon. But basically he was saying that there was somebody in the hospital. He was in so much pain and they couldn't figure out why. And so they were like talking to the doctor, like, can you give him something for the pain? And the doctor said, we can't yet. We have to let him feel that pain so that we can figure out where the problem is so that we can fix the problem. And I found that so powerful. Like, you have to feel the pain sometimes so that you can be like, okay, why am I feeling this? And you can get to that point and you can fix the problem and grow from it and become better from it. Anyway, and some thoughts that I had about this when I was scribbling was, I was trying to think, ask yourself these questions. If your pain leads you to a better place, is it worth it? If your pain that you're feeling right now leads you to a better future you, is it worth it? For me, it'd be a yes. If your pain leads to someone else, if your pain leads someone else to a better place, is it worth it? For me, that's 110% yes. I usually think of myself as an afterthought, like to a fault. And so right now I'm filming this because I'm hoping my pain and what I've learned from this can help you guys at all. And I know you guys are selfless and generous and loving, and I know you're the same way. If you can go through something and then be able to help somebody else who's going through that in the future, then that's worth it. So just think about those things when you're going through pain, like maybe there's a greater purpose behind it. And another thought that I had that I thought was super powerful, which I think is from the Lord, was that I always see myself in hard situations as very woe is me, the world is crashing around me and, let me be sad. And it's okay, to cry. Jesus cried. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. But when you get to the point where you're at the woe is me phase, you're not fixing anything. And things are only going to get worse. And instead of being in the woe is me phase, we should actually be preparing to fight. Because if Satan's targeting you that much, you're a threat to him, which is good because that means you're doing something right. And if you aren't preparing for that battle, you're going to keep getting depressed. He's going to keep beating down on you, and you're not going to grow from this. You're not going to be able to come out of this, as the winner of the situation. Look at each situation that you're going through, each painful process, as a fight. If you look at it as a battle that you're trying to win, it's more of a challenge, and then you can see things more clearly. Every time, I'm thinking of those old movies. Am I thinking of Braveheart or something? I don't even know if I've seen Braveheart. But when they're, those old movies where it's they're all fighting. They didn't have guns or anything. They had arrows, and they would all line up and be ready to attack each other with their swords and arrows and stuff. When you're in battle, those arrows are coming. And you're not thinking woe is me, an arrow is coming. You're thinking, I'm going to get my shield up so that I don't die. If we approach each scary, painful, confusing situation as an actual battle coming towards us, it makes so much more sense. You know what I mean? And on that topic of things being a battle, life really is a battle. I'm not sure if anybody's told you that. If they haven't, I'm sorry, because you're missing out on the bigger picture. And you've probably been wondering, why is life so hard? It's because this world is literally a battlefield. And there is a spiritual realm working against us all the time. I don't know what you guys believe. I believe in the Bible. And I know enough about the Bible to know that there is a lot of spiritual warfare going on all the time. That means literal angels and literal demons fighting constantly over you, over your soul, over your heart, over your mind. When you approach it like that, it makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? When scary things happen to you, that like, oh wow, like this is actually a battle for like me. It just makes sense. And something to remember is that even if you hear that and you're thinking like, wow, well that's really intimidating, like if a battle is going on for me, like I'm not strong enough to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. I'm not interested in that. Good news is that God's already won. So if you follow him, like you're already on the winning side. Like God, when you accept Jesus in your heart, like I've accepted Christ as my personal savior, and I choose to follow him and pick up my cross and follow him, as I've been reminded in the past weeks. And when I have Christ living in me, that means that I am stronger than anything that could come my way because Christ is stronger. So if you are looking ahead and are stressed out at all these battles that I've been talking about that are always going to be coming your way on this earth, don't be scared. You will always overcome it because you have Christ. He overcame everything, including death. So like, if somebody overcomes death, like, you're probably on the right side, you know what I mean? And it's okay to be scared, like it's okay to be scared of the future. It's okay to be scared of, you don't know how things are going to work out, and even more immediate situations to be scared about. Jesus was scared too. And when he was about to be taken and crucified, he was praying and he asked God to take this cup from him. But he said, like, Lord, please take this cup from me. But if not, let your will be done. Scared too. He was human. He was just as scared as we are of things. But he also, sorry if my voice is cracking. I'm not crying, I swear. My throat just hurts. But it's okay to be scared of things, but it's not okay to be a coward. He was scared. He asked God to take this problem, this terrifying situation that he knew was going to happen to him. He asked him to take it away. But then he said, your will be done. What if we approach things like that? It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be shaking, but it's not okay to stop. You keep going. You go into the battlefield. Because if you don't, it's like thinking that God isn't stronger, and he is. And if you're at the point where you haven't accepted Jesus, I know all this sounds kind of confusing, feel free to reach out to me at any time on any of my social media platforms, like ever. I'm probably on Instagram the most often, but anyway. But when you're going into the battlefield of any situation, you can be scared, but you can't let fear overcome your decisions. When you let fear overcome your decisions, you're letting it win. And Kris Vallotton, said this, and it's like my favorite quote. When you let fear overcome you, you're putting faith in the wrong kingdom. You're putting faith in the kingdom of darkness. You're giving yourself to Satan by letting fear win. Because letting fear control you is not of God. Being scared is okay. But letting that scaredness, letting that fear make the decisions for you isn't being a follower of Christ. And everyone messes up. I mess up too. And there are times when I'm like, nope, screw this. Like, I'm too tired. I am broken. I can't do this. But God is always there to pick you up. And he's always there to bring you through the battle to the other side. This is the last thing I kind of wanted to mention. Sorry, this is such a long video, but you know me, I just make long videos now, I guess. Sometimes I think about the fact that, like, I am such a planner, and, like, to a fault. Like, you don't even know. I plan out everything. You should see my planner. I even like learning the ends of movies before I see them, just to know if it's going to be a waste of my time, or, like, if I'm actually going to like it or not. Like, that's always how I've been. And it just makes me laugh, because I think God knows that. I mean, obviously God knows that about us, but, like, I don't think I'm the only one that likes knowing the endings of things, likes knowing, like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. Or, like, okay, the dog doesn't die in the movie, we're good, like, and that's the entire, like, if you've read the Bible, in the end of the Bible, in the book of Revelation, like, we win. I don't know if you guys know this, but, like, we win because Jesus wins. He's already won, you know, when he was raised to life. But at the end of everything, like, Satan loses. He gets thrown in a sulfur river, like, or sulfur lake, whatever. We get to spend eternity with Christ. We get a new heaven, new earth. Like, we win. And so, like, I want you to know that, like, you don't have to be afraid of what's going to come. God's already told us, like, if you give your life to Christ, you're gonna be with him for eternity, and it's gonna be amazing. And, you know, at the end of everything, it's not scary. It's gonna be incredible for eternity, for forever and ever and ever and ever. But the Bible also states, you know, yeah, that's all true. But this earth is going to be hard. So you need to recognize that as well. And I don't know about you, but it's worth it to me. Already knowing the end of the movie and knowing that we win and knowing that everything's going to be okay. Oh, it gives me chills. Like, just saying everything's going to be okay, I think I just needed that, and I hope you needed that too. Everything's going to be okay. It makes the days here not as bad because you know what's coming around the bend. You know this is going to be a blink in the scheme of time and eternity. So I hope that encourages you a little bit. Like, pain's going to happen. If you follow Christ, it's definitely going to happen, but it's so worth it. He gives you so much joy. I have felt more joy, more complete in my brokenness in the past 2 weeks than ever in my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I hope that inspires you guys a little bit, that Jesus truly is the only way that you can feel true joy at all. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment below anything you think about this topic, or any requests you have for videos. I'm working on some right now. The spiritual gifts one is in the works. It's just a very lengthy topic. I love it, but it's very lengthy, so I'm working on it. But yeah, and feel free to subscribe if you want to listen in on more of these videos. And I'll see you guys next time. I love you so much. Bye.